Shiva Puranam, Rudra Samhita, Sati Khanda, Chapter 27, Start of Daksha's Sacrifice. Brahma said, O excellent sage, once Daksha Prajapati organized a huge sacrifice. Receiving the Diksha for Yajna, he invited in that Yajna all the divine sages. Influenced with the illusion of Shiva, the gods and rishis also arrived for the performing of the Yajna. The sages who arrived there in Daksha's sacrifice included Agastya, Kashyapa, Atri, Vamadeva, Bhrigu, Dadhichi, Lord Vyasa, Bharadwaja, Gautama, Paila, Parashara, Garga, Bhargava, Kakubha, Sita, Sumantu, Trika, and Vaishampayana, and many others. In this way, several other sages, together with their wives, arrived in the yajna of my son Daksha. All the gods, Lokapalas, and Ganadevatas arrived there with their respective vehicles and the Ganas. I, the creator of the universe, was also invited with prayers from Satyaloka. I also, together with my son's family and the Vedas, arrived there. Lord Vishnu was also invited respectfully from Vaikuntha with his family and attendants for participating in the yajna. Thus, the wicked Daksha invited all and honored them all appropriately. Daksha allotted all of them the vast buildings built by Vishwakarma, the divine architect, for them. All the places the gods, myself, and Vishnu were lodged gracefully, who looked fine. At the bank of the holy places of Kankhala, the yajna was organized, in which Bhrigu and other great sages were appointed as priests. Vishnu himself was the presiding deity along with the Maruts. I myself, Brahma, functioned as the chief priest for the Vedic rituals. Similarly, the Lokapalas, guardians of the quarters, functioned as the gatekeepers or the watchmen. They were well equipped with arms and were assisted by their attendants, who were quite enthusiastic. The Yajnadeva also appeared in that sacrifice. The excellent sages held the Vedas. The sacred fire of the Yajna took to divorce. The sacred fire of the Yajna took to diverse forms in several ways in order to receive the sacrificial offerings of Daksha. 86,000 Ritviks, priests, collectively made the offerings in the fire. 64 Udgatras participated in as Adhvaryus and Hotras. Their number was the same. The 7 sages recited jointly as well as severally Saman hymns. Daksha extended his invitation to participate in the sacrifice to Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Siddhas, Adityas, the innumerable Nagas, along with their followers, and the ritualists. The Brahmanical royal divine sages, besides the kings, their ministers, friends, and army, the 8 Vasus, and the Ganadevatas, besides the security guards for the yajna, were all invited by Daksha. The yajna mandapa was decorated with proper initiative. Daksha, with his wife, after performing Shvasti Vachana and receiving Diksha for yajna, looked quite graceful. The wicked Daksha, taking Shiva to be the carrier of skull, did not consider him fit for invitation. Since Daksha had the faults finding nature, he did not invite his dearest daughter Sati, because of her being the wife of Shiva in the yajna. Thus, with the start of the yajna of Daksha, all the people were engaged in their respective assignments. In the meantime, the sage Dadhichi, finding Shiva absent from the yajna, became nervous and spoke. Dadhichi said, "O all the celestial sages and others, listen to my words. Why has Shiva not arrived in the yajna? Though the best of the gods, the sages and the Lokapalas have arrived, but the yajna has no grace without Shiva. The people with wisdom are of the opinion that the eternal Purusha, because of whom all the works face success, the same Purana Purusha, Supreme Lord, blue throated one, known as Bull Bannered One, is absent from here and is no more visible. O Daksha, with the presence of three eyed and five faced Shiva, all the inauspicious things become auspicious. Therefore, yourself, Brahma, and all competent Vishnu should at once summon Shiva. For the completion of the yajna with Indra, Lokapala, Brahmanas, and the Siddhas, Shiva should be brought here. All of you should go at once where Lord resides and bring here Shiva and Sati. O gods, with the arrival of Shiva, the Supreme Soul, with Sati, the yajna would be purified. The one with the reciting of whose name or by remembering whom all the tasks are established. Such a Lord Shiva should be brought here, making all the efforts. The yajna could be purified only on the arrival of Shiva here. Otherwise, it would remain incomplete. I am speaking the truth. Brahma said, listening to these words, the foolish and evil minded Daksha at once spoke laughingly. Vishnu happens to be the base of the gods, in whom is enshrined the eternal Dharma. I have invited him in the yajna. What is the deficiency now in the yajna? Vishnu, in whom all the Vedas, yajnas, and all the noble deeds are enshrined, is already present here. Brahma, the grand sir of all the lokas, Brahma from Satya Loka, with the Vedas, Agamas, Upanishads, and other scriptures have already arrived here. Besides, Indra has also arrived here with all the gods. In addition to these, the sinless sages have also arrived here. Such of the people who are suitable or all worthy of being included in the sacrifice and deserve honor have arrived. All of you are well aware of the Vedas and their interpretation and are steady in your rights. Then, what is the use of getting Rudra here? O Brahmana, I had given my daughter to Shiva at the advice of Brahma. O Brahmana, Shiva does not belong to a noble race and his parents are unknown. He is the lord of goblins, ghosts, and spirits and is incorrigible. He is haughty, self conceited, foolish, with false prestige, and is proud. He is unfit for this task. Therefore, he has not been invited by me. Therefore, you should not speak such words again. All of you should make my yajna a success. Brahma said, listening to the words of Daksha in the presence of all the gods and rishis, supported with arguments, the sage Dadhichi said, with Shiva, this yajna would be termed as a yajna. Particularly, your destruction is sure to happen in this yajna. Thus speaking, the sage Dadhichi left the place of yajna alone and went to his ashrama. All other people devoted to Shiva also left the place, pronouncing curse on Daksha. With the departure of Dadhichi and other sages like this, the evil-minded Daksha laughed and said, Daksha said, the Brahmana, Dadhichi, and similar types of sage have left my place of yajna. This has been well done, and I desired the same. O gods and the sages, I am speaking the truth. The people who are slow-witted, senseless rogues, indulging in false deliberations and discussions are considered to be out of the Vedic circle. Such people with evil conduct are not fit enough to participate in the sacrificial rites. O Brahmanas, sages and the gods, all of you with Vishnu should make my yajna fruitful. Brahma said, on hearing the words of Daksha, the divine sages, overpowered with the Maya of Shiva, worship the deities in sacrifice. O sage, I have this explained the event of the cursing of the sacrifice of Daksha. Now I shall speak about the destruction of the sacrifice. Iti Shri Shiva Mahapurane Dvitiyayang Rudra Samhitayang Dvitiye Sati Khande Yagya Prarambho Nama Saptavingshodhyayah. Chapter 28, Sati's Travel. Brahma said, when the gods and rishis delightfully went to the Daksha's yajna, Sati at the same time was surrounded by her handmaids in the fountain house under a canopy over the Gandhamadana mountain. She was engaged in several types of sports. At the same time, she saw Rohini with moon, who was proceeding to attend the yajna of Daksha. Seeing thus couple, Rohini and Moon, Sati asked Vijaya, her chief maiden, and her beloved friend, wishing her all welfare. Sati said, O beloved friend Vijaya, where is this moon going in the company of Rohini in such hurry after taking leave of us? Brahma said, at these words of Sati, Vijaya herself went to the moon and asked him appropriately, where are you going at the moment? Listening to the words of Vijaya, the moon respectfully told her about the purpose of his journey as well as the festivities in the house of Daksha in the form of a yajna. Listening to the words of the moon, Vijaya at once returned to the Sati and apprised her of the factual position as ascertained by her from the moon. On hearing this, Sati, the goddess Kalika, was immensely surprised. Then, failing to understand the reason for it, she started thinking. Both Daksha and Virini are my parents. How is it that they have failed to invite me? Have they forgotten their dear daughter? I shall ask the reason for it from Shiva. Thus thinking, Sati decided to go to Shiva. Thereafter, Sati, making her friend Vijaya to wait at that place, at once went to Shiva. Reaching the court of Shiva, she found him surrounded by several attendants, Nandi and other great warriors. Thus, finding her husband Shiva so seated in his court, the daughter of Daksha went to Shiva to know about the reason. Shiva took Sati lovingly in his lap and, with great respect, he pleased her with his words. Thereafter, Shiva, who could perform several types of sports, was the lord of all and who could bestow pleasure to all, spoke to Sati with honor in the presence of his ganas. Shiva said, O slender-waisted one, feeling surprised, why have you arrived in my court? You tell me at once the reason for the same. Brahma said, O excellent sage, At these words of Shiva, Sati said to the Lord Shiva, offering her salutation to him with folded hands. Sati said, I have come to know that a great yajna with festivities is being held in the house of my father, in which the gods and the rishis are present. O Lord of the Devas, why are you not attending the yajna in the house of my father? You tell me. To meet the friends by the friends in the sacred dharma. O Mahadeva, you also increase the practice mutual love with friends. O Master, you accept my request, making all the efforts. You accompany me to the yajna of my parents' house today itself. Brahma said, listening to the aforesaid words of Sati, Maheshwara spoke out the words which had pierced into his heart and spoken by Daksha. Shiva said, O goddess, your father Daksha is particularly inimical to me. Those who are present there today, those gods and the rishis are not my own and are ignorant. O goddess, those who go to the house of others without invitation, they have to face humiliation worse than death. In case when Indra goes to anyone uninvited, he also gets humiliated. What to speak of the others? Therefore, such a journey should not be undertaken. O my beloved, therefore, both of us should not attend the yajna of Daksha. I am speaking the truth. A person troubled by the enemies does not feel so painful as he is hurt with the evil words. O beloved, the noble people possessing the six virtues like Vidya and others are humiliated by the wicked people because they are themselves deprived of those virtues. Brahma said, at these words spoken by Shiva, the Supreme Soul, Sati felt enraged and spoke to Shiva, who was foremost of the fluent speakers. Sati said, O Shiva, Lord of all, by your presence the sacrifice of my father would have become successful. But my evil minded father has failed to invite you today. O Lord Shiva, I would like to know the trend of thoughts of the evil minded people today, as well as those of the divine sages and all other wicked persons assembled there. Therefore, O Lord, I would like to go to the sacrifice of my father. O Lord Shiva, kindly grant me permission to do so. Brahma said, then Lord Shiva, possessing the perfect wisdom, realizing everything and foreseeing all, being the cause of protection, at the request of the goddess spoke to her. Shiva said, O goddess, in case this is what is desired by you, and if you think it needful to go, O righteous one, you can immediately go to your father's sacrifice with my permission. You can proceed with royal grace, mounting the bull Nandi, which is profusely decorated. Sati was then commanded to mount the caparisoned bull and proceeded on her journey towards the house of her father. The great Lord Shiva also gave her the royal paraphernalia like umbrella, fly whisks, silken clothes and ornaments for proceeding on journey. 60,000 of Shiva's attendants delightfully accompanied her enthusiastically. At that point of time, great festivities were being performed at the place of Yajna. The attendants of Vamadeva also celebrated the festivities of Sati, the spouse of Shiva, singing the glory of Shiva and Shiva. The valorous warriors of Shiva started dancing and jumping here and there. The journey of the Mother of the Universe was looking extremely graceful. All the three worlds were filled with the sound of victory. Iti Shri Shiva Mahapurane Dvitiyayang Rudra Samhitayang Dvitiye Sati Khande Sati Yatra Varnanang Namashtavingshodhyayah. Chapter 29. Declaration of Sati. The influential yajna in which the gods and demons had participated delightfully, Sati suddenly reached there, being the daughter of Daksha. She found her father's abode filled with people with various moods, who were quite beautiful, illustrious, including the gods and the rishis. The goddess Sati got down from her Mount Nandi and stood at the gate. Then she went alone at the place of yajna. At the arrival of Sati, her mother Ashikni, as well as her sisters, welcomed her properly. But her father Daksha, having been influenced with the illusion of Shiva, ignored her even after spotting her there, and showed no respect for her. Terrified from Daksha, others too did not extend any respect to her. O excellent sage, thus having been immensely insulted and surprised, Sati offered her salutation to her parents. She observed the shares of Hari and other gods having been displayed in the yajna. Finding that no part of yajna had been assigned for Shiva, she could not control her anger. Thus, having been humiliated by all, burning Daksha with the fire of her looks, she started gazing at him quite cruelly. Sati said, "Why have you not invited Shiva, who is highly auspicious and by whom the entire mobile and immobile universe is sanctified? How can a yajna be performed without Shiva, who is the form of yajna himself? The best among those who know about the yajna is the part of yajna, besides being the performer of yajna, with the mere remembering of whom everything is purified, and without him the entire performance is polluted. The articles of offerings, the mantras, besides the Havya and Kavya, are identical with Shiva. How is this yajna being performed without him? Did you insult him, taking him to be like other ordinary gods? You have lost your wisdom, and you are quite mean in spite of your being my father. You are not aware of the prowess of Shiva, by whose grace Brahma, Vishnu, and other gods have attained their present positions. How could Brahma, Vishnu, the gods, as well as the sages arrive in your yajna without Shiva, their master?" Brahma said, "Parameshwari, who was the form of Shiva, thus speaking, even rebuked Vishnu and other gods separately." Sati said, "O Vishnu, Shiva, whose Nirguna and Saguna forms are described by the Vedas, you are well aware of the same Mahadeva. O Vishnu, though Shiva educated you, saving you several times from the attack of the king Shalva and others. O evil-minded one, still there had been no enlightenment in your heart, and you participated in this yajna of Daksha without the presence of your master. Do you know Brahma had become arrogant because of his 5 heads? Then Shiva reduced his head to 4. Have you forgotten that incident? O Indra, you are well aware of the prowess of Shiva. The Lord performer of the difficult tasks reduced your Vajra to ashes. O gods, you are not aware of the prowess of Shiva. O Atri, O Vasishtha, what is all this that has been done by you? When Shiva was begging alms in the Darukavana, you people had pronounced a curse on him. At the pronouncing of the curse, Shiva reduced to ashes all the mobile and immobile living beings of the world. How could you forget that incident so easily? Brahma, Vishnu, and other gods have turned as fools to arrive here to participate in the yajna without the presence of Shiva. Shiva, by whose grace all the Vedas with their parts were created, and Shiva cannot be known even by the knowledge of Vedanta. Brahma said, thus feeling painful at heart. The mother of the universe then calmly, feeling free from anger, spoke variously. Listening to her furious words, all the gods, like Vishnu and others, besides the sages, kept quiet, getting frightened. Thereafter, Daksha, listening to the words of his daughter, looking at her cruelly, spoke. Daksha said, presently you have no business to talk much. It is immaterial whether you stay or go away. What for have you arrived here, Shiva? Your husband is inauspicious and devoid of the graceful lineage and has been discarded by the Vedas. He is the king of goblins, ghosts, and spirits. This aspect is well known to the learned people. Therefore, O daughter, knowing fully well about Rudra's being shabbily dressed and indecent features, I did not invite him to this sacrifice attended to by the gods and the sages. At the advice of the foolish and sinful Brahma, without any deep thought, I married you with that evil person. Therefore, shading away the anger, you be calm. Since you have arrived in the yajna, you better receive your share of the same. Brahma said, at these words of Daksha, the daughter of Daksha, who is adorable in the three worlds, looking at her father with contempt, felt further enraged. Then she thought in her mind, how can I now return to Shiva? I would like to meet Shiva, but in case he asks me about the events which took place here, what reply shall I give? Thereafter, full of wrath and breathing hard, Sati, the mother of the three worlds, spoke to her evil-minded father. Sati said, the one who rebukes Shiva and the one who listens to such rebukes, both of them fall in the hell, and they remain there till the sun and the moon last. Therefore, I shall get rid of this body, entering the fire. O dear one, listening to the contemptuous words about my husband, remaining alive would be of no consequence. In case a person himself is powerful enough, then he should cut off the tongue of the person who rebukes Shiva and then purify himself. In case he is not so strong enough, then he should cover his both the ears with his hands and leave the place. This is what the people of learning speak. Brahma said, Sati then started repenting, stating the dictum of virtue. Then, with a painful heart, she remembered the advices given to her by Shiva, her husband. Then, becoming furious, she spoke to Daksha, her father, Vishnu, as well as the sages, quite frankly. Sati said, O dear one, by rebuking Shiva now, you are sure to repent later. You will suffer in this world. You are bound to face further torture. There is no other person in the world who hates Shiva or is not well disposed towards him. Who else could be inimical to Shiva except you? There is no doubt that the degraded people always denounce the noble people, but the greatness lies in the fact, in case one is able to remove his ignorance with the application of the dust of the feet of such noble people. A person who recites the name of Shiva, comprising of two letters, even once, all his sins are washed out. It is surprising that though the dictum of Shiva cannot be transgressed, who is the holiest of the holy persons, you have been so wicked as to preserve an ill feeling against him. You are surely the enemy of Shiva. The lotus-like feet of Shiva are served by the minds of the noble people like the bees. He is the one who bestows the appropriate rewards to his devotees quite gracefully. He is the one who showers fulfillment of the desires of his devotees, including the realizing of the self. Except you, no one else, including Brahma, Sanaka, and other sages, consider him to be inauspicious. He lives in the cremation ground with disheveled locks of hair, with ghosts and goblins wearing the garland of skulls, applying ashes over his body. But the gods and the sages place the dust of his feet over their heads. This is the nature of Lord Shiva, the great god. Two types of deeds have been prescribed in the Vedas: direct and renunciatory. The learned people differentiate between the two and hold that they cannot be simultaneous and cannot occur in a single entity. But Shiva is the great Brahman, and these actions have no effect on him. O Father, the paths of egoism which has been selected by you for traveling should not be followed by you. Let the smoke of your Yajnashala is not waylaid. This is the path followed by the Abadhutas. O evil minded father, you should not be arrogant and conceited. What more should I speak? What more should I speak with my tongue? You are wicked and evil minded. My body, which is born of you, is of no use to me now. Disgrace to the birth in which the great people are denounced and rebuked. A person with wisdom should cut off such a relationship. Shiva calls me Dakshayani because of your Gotra, and hearing it, I would feel painful henceforth. Therefore, discarding this corpse and despised body produced from your body, I shall gain happiness. O gods, O sages, all of you should listen to my words. All of you, having evil minds, have conducted yourself improperly. All of you are fools, quarrelsome, as well as reapproach Shiva. All of you are surely to be punished by Shiva. Brahma said. Thus speaking to Daksha, Sati kept quiet and started reciting the name of Shiva in her heart. Iti Shri Shiva Mahapurane Dvitiyayang Rudra Samhitayang Dvitiye Sati Khande Sati Vakya Varnanang Namaikona Trinsha Adhyayah.